Brooke Leslie Rollins was born on April 10, 1972, in Glen Rose, Texas, a small rural community about 50 miles southwest of Fort Worth, known for its agricultural heritage. Raised on her family's farm, Rollins grew up immersed in ranching life, engaging in activities like barrel racing horses, raising livestock, and participating in farm chores. These experiences shaped her deep connection to agriculture and rural values. She was primarily raised by her single mother, which instilled resilience, faith, and a strong sense of personal responsibility. Her Christian upbringing, often referenced in her speeches, e.g., citing Romans 13:12 and Matthew 5:14-16, became a cornerstone of her worldview. As a youth, Rollins was actively involved in agricultural organizations, notably 4-H and the National FFA organization, Future Farmers of America. She rose to the rank of a Texas state FFA officer, a distinction that later made her the first such officer to serve as U.S. Secretary of Agriculture. These early leadership roles honed her skills and solidified her commitment to supporting farmers, ranchers, and rural communities. Education. 1990s. Rollins was the first in her family to attend college, a significant milestone. She enrolled at Texas A&M University, a premier institution for agricultural studies, where she majored in agricultural development and graduated with honors in 1994. At Texas A&M, she broke barriers as the first woman elected student body president, demonstrating early leadership prowess. She also served as Speaker pro tempore of the Student Senate, chair of the Texas A&M Judicial Court, a fish camp counselor, and was named Cotton Bowl Classic Queen, reflecting her deep involvement in Aggie traditions and campus life. After her undergraduate studies, Rollins pursued a legal education at the University of Texas School of Law, earning a Juris Doctor with honors. Her dual expertise in agriculture and law laid a unique foundation for her future career in policy and public service. Early career in Texas politics, late 1990s-2018. After law school, Rollins began her professional career as a litigator at Hughes & Luce, LLP, a prominent Dallas law firm, where she handled complex commercial litigation. She also clerked for U.S. Federal District Judge Barbara M.G. Lynn, gaining valuable experience in the federal judiciary. In the late 1990s, Rollins transitioned to public service, joining the administration of Texas Governor Rick Perry. She initially served as Deputy General Counsel and Ethics Advisor, later becoming Policy Director. In this role, she oversaw a wide range of issues, including agriculture, education, transportation, criminal justice, economic development, and health policy. Her work focused on conservative reforms, such as promoting education vouchers, deregulation, and economic growth, aligning with her free market philosophy. In 2003, at age 31, Rollins was appointed president and CEO of the Texas Public Policy Foundation, TPPF, an Austin-based conservative think tank. Over her 15-year tenure, 2003-2018, she transformed TPPF from a small organization with 3 staff members and a modest budget into a national powerhouse with over 100 employees and a $16 million annual budget. Under her leadership, TPPF became a leading voice for limited government, free enterprise, and policies on taxes, tort reform, criminal justice, and energy. She held over 1,600 one-on-one meetings with lawmakers annually, shaping Texas legislation and earning recognition as one of Texas Monthly's 25 most powerful Texans in 2011. Her advocacy included criminal justice reform, school choice, and reducing regulatory burdens. Role in the Trump administration, first term, 2018-2021. Rollins' national prominence grew during Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, where she served on his Economic Advisory Council. In February 2018, she joined the White House as Director of the Office of American Innovation, OAI, a new initiative focused on modernizing government operations and improving efficiency. Later that year, on September 6, 2018, she was named Assistant to the President for Strategic Initiatives, managing intergovernmental affairs and technology policy. In May 2020, amid the COVID-19 pandemic and national unrest following George Floyd's murder, Trump appointed Rollins as acting director of the United States Domestic Policy Council, DPC. She oversaw the administration's domestic agenda, including criminal justice reform, contributing to the bipartisan First Step Act of 2018, which addressed sentencing and recidivism, economic recovery, and health policy. Her agricultural policy experience came into play as she managed supply chain issues during the pandemic. Rollins emphasized bipartisan collaboration, consulting with police, mayors, faith leaders, and victims' families on policing reforms. She served in the White House until the end of Trump's first term in January 2021. America First Policy Institute, 2021-2024. After leaving the White House, Rollins co-founded the America First Policy Institute, AFPI, in early 2021, serving as its president and CEO. AFPI, modeled after TPPF, became a leading conservative think tank promoting Trump's America First agenda, preparing policy frameworks for a potential second term. The organization focused on economic growth, national security, education reform, and rural development, employing many former Trump officials. AFPI's 10 pillars emphasized prioritizing American citizens, with policies like banning Chinese ownership of U.S. farmland. Rollins' leadership positioned AFPI as a White House in waiting, influencing the 2024 Trump campaign and transition. During this period, Rollins advocated for patriotic education, critiqued climate science, and opposed certain state animal welfare laws, such as California's Proposition 12, which set standards for livestock confinement. She also briefly returned to TPPF as a senior advisor and board member in 2021, maintaining her Texas ties. U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, 2025-present. On November 23, 2024, President-elect Donald Trump nominated Rollins as the 33rd U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, citing her commitment to farmers, food self-sufficiency, and rural revitalization. The nomination was unexpected, as other candidates like Kelly Loeffler were considered, but it reflected Rollins' loyalty and policy expertise. Critics noted her limited direct agricultural experience beyond her upbringing and education, while supporters praised her rural roots and leadership. Rollins appeared before the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry on January 23, 2025, pledging to prioritize disaster aid for farmers, modernize USDA operations, and support rural prosperity. She addressed concerns about Trump's tariffs and deportations, promising relief for farmers facing trade retaliation or labor shortages, and committed to enforcing the Packers and Stockyards Act for fair markets. The committee unanimously advanced her nomination on February 3, 2025, and the Senate confirmed her by a 72-28 bipartisan vote on February 13, 2025. She became the second woman, after Ann Veneman, the first Texan, first Texas A&M alumna, and first former state FFA officer to hold the position. She was sworn in that day by Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas in a private ceremony at the Supreme Court. As Secretary, Rollins oversees the USDA's $437 billion budget, FY 2024, and 100,000-plus employees, managing programs in farming, forestry, food safety, nutrition, e.g., SNAP, rural development, trade, and research. Her priorities include disaster aid, distributing over $3 billion in aid from a December 2024 congressional package to farmers in Texas and other states affected by droughts, hurricanes, and heat waves. Immigration and SNAP, implementing Trump's directive to exclude undocumented immigrants from SNAP, food stamps, prioritizing benefits for citizens and legal residents. Land and energy policy, halting USDA funding for solar, wind projects on prime farmland, previously over $2 billion, to preserve agricultural land and blocking taxpayer funds for such developments. Animal health and trade, launching a 5-part plan, August 15, 2025, to prevent screwworm parasites from Mexico and expressing concerns over California's Proposition 12, hinting at federal preemption of state animal welfare laws. Reforms and appointments, nominating undersecretaries for rural development, freezing Biden-era conservation funding for review, and prioritizing merit-based hiring over DEI initiatives. Other initiatives, promoting biofuels, ensuring fair trade, opening a modernized Midwestern food safety laboratory, addressing bird flu outbreaks, and intervening in California's Eel River Dam removal for water security. Rollins has faced criticism from environmental groups for her past climate skepticism and from progressives for her limited agricultural expertise. However, she has earned bipartisan support from farm organizations and senators like John Boozman, RAR, and Chuck Grassley, REA, for her focus on rural issues. As of September 2025, Her tenure continues to navigate trade uncertainties, labor challenges, and her America First agricultural agenda. Personal life. Rollins is married to Mark Rollins, a Texas A&M alumnus, class of 1994, an energy executive, president, director at Hillwood Energy, HKN Energy Limited since 2005, with a BS in civil engineering. The couple lives in Fort Worth, Texas, with their 4 children, sons Jake and Luke, and daughters Anna and Lily. Their family life centers on supporting their children's activities, including baseball, cattle shows, through 4-H, FFA, piano lessons, and attending Texas A&M Aggie football games. Rollins balances her career with family, often drawing on her Christian faith for guidance. Her estimated net worth is around $1 million as of early 2025, primarily from her think tank roles in consulting, e.g., BLR Ideas. Upon her confirmation, she divested assets to comply with federal ethics rules. Rollins maintains an active presence on X via at Brooke Rollins, personal, 71K plus followers, and at desecrption, official USDA account, 159K plus followers, where she shares policy updates and personal moments. Legacy and impact. Brooke Rollins' journey from a small-town farm girl in Glen Rose to the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture reflects her dedication to public service, conservative principles, and agricultural advocacy. Her leadership at TPPF and AFPI established her as a formidable policy influencer, while her rural roots and agricultural education resonate with farmers and ranchers. As secretary, she faces the challenge of balancing Trump's trade and immigration policies with the needs of a diverse agricultural sector, all while advancing rural prosperity and food security. Her story is one of breaking barriers. As a first-generation college graduate, a trailblazing student leader, and a historic USDA appointee, while staying grounded in her Texas heritage and family values.